A little video on how to install and run a dedicated DCS server on the same machine that you're going to play the game on. Of course, you can simply run the game and start a multiplayer session, but then whenever you close the game, it shuts down the server too. So if you want to host your own server in the background without quite as much demand as the game itself has on your machine, then you can do it this way. First thing you need to do, of course, is download it, and you need to decide whether you're running the release version or the open beta. I run the beta, so download it, install it. You'll also want to create a separate DCS account. No need to have any modules on it. It's free. Just create one just for the server itself, because the server doesn't need to log in. And while you might be able to log in with your primary account, I haven't tried it, but use a second account. I think you're safer that way. Alright, once it's installed, you get a couple of icons here on your desktop. One is for the server itself, and then one is to manage the server. So this is the server itself. And ever since, I don't remember when. It's been at least a couple of years. There was an update, and I always get a white screen. Not a white screen, but a white window whenever the game is running. And it doesn't seem to affect it at all, other than sometimes I have to force a shutdown, but it runs fine other than that. So I just ignore that, and see, this is all I ever get right here. And it used to be you got more information. I don't know what happened. So once that's running, then you can run the interface that will allow you to connect to it. Just started. It's probably not fully started yet. Alright, and it remembers the last mission that I loaded. If you want to add another mission, you can. You can stop the server, click add. You can browse to wherever your missions are. You can put your own open beta server missions, or you can, go to your other missions. And of course, it probably needs to be a multiplayer mission, and then you can run it, and it will start. Once it's started, now you'll also want to give it, you can go over here and add a password, and you probably should change the name of the server, etc. That's my IP address there. Okay, it is running. So once it's running, you can minimize it. You need to leave that running though, if for as long as you want it to be running. And one thing I have not tested, at one point you did need to set up a port forward for that particular port on your firewall. Now that's not always necessary, because sometimes a device can log in, register itself, and register as a service, and it can provide that information through the DCS server, and you can connect through a dynamic port. So I haven't tested that, and I don't have an easy way to test that, because all of my computers are inside of my network, necessarily so, and but it's not that hard to do. It's just about every firewall can do that. And so now we'll go multiplayer, and my server automatically pops up here. Not sure why it pops up twice, but and so yes, you can run both the dedicated server and the game itself on the same machine. I don't know what kind of performance impact there is. I've hosted multiplayer games in the dedicated, or in this version of the game, and my machine is fast enough where it didn't seem to make much difference. So And because there is no GUI with the dedicated server, it doesn't place much demand on a machine functioning as a dedicated server. Yeah. All right. That's all.